This might get weird.
We rolling?
I think so.
What up? Cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
We are drinking little champagnes because we are podcasting at brunch time on a Sunday.
Oh, the Lord's Day, Sunday, Day of Suns, according to my Lord and Savior, Michael Buckley.
Did you hear about the governor of West Virginia and his whatever it's called, his address, his televised address to his state?
No.
Okay.
What happened?
The fucking governor of West Virginia, Jim Justice, gave
That's his name?
Jim Justice.
That can't. Oh, my.
Old JJ. You know they called him JJ.
J
Justice. He gave his televised address, which I'm like, do people watch those in West Virginia?
Is this like a press conference that he pulled?
Basically.
Okay.
But at the end, at the end of it, 7 years old, he pulled up his English bulldog.
Oh my God.
Whose name is Babydog. Turned it around to show its butthole. What? To show its butthole onto the camera.
God.
And said, Babydog tells Bette Midler and all those out there, kiss her hiney. To which he received a standing ovation.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I figured out the demo of Velveeta. It's J Justice and his dog butthole. What? That poor dog.
We gotta get this dog away from him.
Take baby. What's her name?
Babydog.
Babydog.
One word.
Take Babydog away from Jim Justice.
I'm like, is there a more humiliating thing than you being the governor of West Virginia's dog and then being like, you're using my anus as a prop in a televised report?
But imagine him the night before
practicing to
going
his wife,
over his speech and going, I need a button at the end. I need something at the end.
An actual button.
I need something to really stick it to him.
What's gonna get him, Tammy? What's gonna get him?
And then Babydog's just
Babydog waddles in and
pumping.
farts.
Yeah. Babydog needs its anal glands expressed. That's the only thing that I can see in that photo.
Well, that's how Jim Justice expresses himself.
Oh.
It killed me. Y'all, we flew Spirit.
Yeah, which Elliot and I took out there, and it wasn't bad at all for us on the way out.
Really?
Yeah, it was totally fine, but it was a short flight, and we were just excited to be going to Vegas. We weren't tired coming back from Vegas.
But also, because we flew from Burbank,
yeah,
you were flying with a whole plane of pre-worn out people. Like, good old Los Angelinos headed to Vegas. Like, on the way back, man.
A Sunday flight from Vegas back to LA is depressing to look around.
But anyway, you board before me, and I'm at the gate. And right when you go on, there is a kerfuffle.
Oh, no. I missed all of this.
I know, because I was like, I want to text Grace, but I'm not going to.
When we landed back in LA, you did say, I got some stuff to talk about on the podcast, so I haven't asked.
Oh, so I'm sitting there waiting, minding my biz, finishing that Bloody Mary you bought me, because I took it to the gate. So anyway, I'm sitting there, and then a woman is at the gate, and clearly they are charging her for a carry-on for her purse.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So she has like a backpack, and then she has like a bigger purse, and they're like, you can only have one carry-on. And she's like, I know, this is my carry-on, this is my purse.
Oh, shit.
And there clearly been a big disagreement. This woman just turns to the whole gate like she is a prophet, holds up her big ass purse and just goes, raise your hand if this is a purse. And everyone is like, what is happening?
Oh no, she put it to a public vote.
She goes, they're trying to charge me as a carry-on. This is a purse. I flew with it out here as a purse. Raise your hand if it's a purse. And no one does anything. Maybe two people or something. And then she starts a chant.
For her purse and
it's
herself?
just purse, 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 purse. And no one is joining in, right? You thought I was embarrassing to tell Katie it was weird. She was like, purse. And I'm making eye contact with people, and they're just like, this woman has lost it. Truly, I think it was the difference. I mean, it was a difference in $50 or something, So I understand it. But she, for the next, that was just boarding group 1. For the next 30 minutes, I heard the word purse more than I've heard in my entire life tripled.
Oh my God.
She was taking votes. She was starting chants. And like they would not. They were like, no, you have to. Sorry, that's a carry on. You have to check one of them. Can I tell you what makes me feel bad?
What?
I do agree it was a purse. I just was not trying to get involved.
Completely surprising news about the Wiggles.
Oh, aren't they? Are they on tour?
No, I think they're an Australian, technically.
It's like some grown
children's and women.
Oh.
Because 2 of the Wiggles were married.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And then they broke up, but kept performing together.
Oh my God, it's the Fleetwood Mac of children's shows.
Do you see that this is the tweet?
That's
says
what it
the
said.
Fleetwood Mac of children's entertainment.
Oh my God.
Literally says, I didn't know 2 of the Wiggles were married and then broke up but kept performing together. The Fleetwood Mac of children's entertainment. That's weird.
Am I AI?
You might be AI.
Oh
But
my
then-
God.
So the female Wiggle and the other Wiggle married, divorced. She married the musician that travels with the Wiggles.
This is drama.
I want this docuseries.
Yeah.
I am I don't even know the Wiggles. It was one
Right.
of those things that you know in your ether because like you babysat kids that watch the Wiggles.
Well, the Wiggles, this is the most I've ever said the word wiggle. The Wiggles, okay, are there humans in the Teletubbies too?
There are human beings inside of the costumes of the Teletubbies.
I'm aware. No,
There's the baby in the sun that's a freak.
But it's just the Tubbies, and did they collab with the Wiggles? I feel like I think the Wiggles are on the Teletubbies.
Wiggles are an Australian children's music group.
And they don't do nothing. They don't got masks.
It's like 4 of them.
And that's all they do.
And that's all they do. And they're
Is be
all
humans.
They're basically Steve Jobs in color. Like they're all wearing
Well, they look like a
turtlenecks.
suicide cult.
There's a lot of cult
They
shit.
look Heaven's Gate. These people.
What's that choreography look like?
Touch step.
I feel like
Jazz
that's
hand.
as much as that's my advanced choreography.
Lots of just circle over your head,
back
side
and
to side. Then it comes down to be a hug. Then it goes down, and then it swoops. Oh no, that's literally Skinamariki Doo choreography. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon.
I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. We've all been
I just stole
programmed.
their choreo, and they're still touring to this day.
To this day, it's New Wiggles era was 2013 to 2021, and now 2021 to present is the expanded lineup on Fruit Salad TV.
Fruit Salad TV. Australia is crazy.
The Wiggles commemorated their 30th anniversary in
What?
January 2021 with a song entitled "We're All Fruit Salad," which sounds like something we would do in our show. Containing lyrics centered around unity and acceptance and featuring guest performers of different cultural backgrounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all fruit salad.
We're all fruit salad.
I want We're all fruit salad merch.
I mean, they probably have it.
I want to eat it with my fingers. We're
Whoa.
all fruit salad.
The event of all events. That is the reason for the season that we're up here this weekend.
Grace and I came up here. What are you doing?
Hold on.
Oh, you're wearing the shirt.
Yeah, because I ran out of all my other clean clothes.
Oh, she's wearing the swag from the bag that we received for being judges at the world's ugliest dog contest.
I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but like
Look at that
amazing
logo.
graphics.
Look at that logo.
Amazing graphics.
So Grace and I, being consummate professionals, we arrived early. I double checked on the email. I mean, like I was
We
making
arrived
sure.
3 hours before the event started. 3 full hours before this event started. I thought we might have been running a little late.
Yeah, I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
We stopped at a Dunkin' Donuts. They were taking their damn time.
Elliot got a grilled cheese because he was hungover at Dunkin' Donuts, and I said, "Babe, you're ruining this for us. Get in the car."
I mean, as soon as we entered there, they were like, is that Grace and Mamrie? Like they were ready for us.
Well, I think that we were probably the youngest people
In the world.
at this fair, other than the people attending the fair at night.
Who were going there for smooches.
And we came in just like looking around like big eyes, like, oh,
Like just ready for Christmas. The amount of time in the following 3 hours leading up to the competition that people wished Beans good luck.
So Mamrie came with Beans. Because why not? And also Beans gives us cred to be able to judge this.
Yes, we're not just the president. We're the members of Ugly Dogs.
We know what a unique dog looks like.
Yes.
But then we walked into the fair, and Mamrie started walking Beans, and we realized that dogs aren't allowed in this fair.
No.
The only ones that are for the Ugly Dog contest. So it's no fault to anyone that obviously they would think that Beans is part of this. Everyone was wishing Beans good luck. Well, everyone was saying that thing's going to take it.
I mean, even the organizer of the event, Cindy Chong, was like, why isn't she entered?
She was like, that's a breach of trust in this program.
We go to get some beers because, I mean, Grace and I had a solid 6-pack in us when we got on that stage.
Thank God. I would have drank more had I known what was going to happen to us on that stage.
We were like, thank God they didn't have liquor. Because I'm at the beer line getting my beer, and the old woman in the little beer hut full on sticks her head out as like, I've seen all of these. She would win. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. But it was so funny when people would come up and they'd be like, she's in it, huh? And I go, no, she's not. And then one woman was just like, I'm so sorry. I was like, no, she's a crazy looking dog. I'm not offended, but she's not competing. So we get there, and immediately we're sitting, and I see a man enter, and he goes and talks to the tech booth, and I go, this must be the host. Because they didn't have the host listed.
One outlier and mystery was that we didn't know who was hosting this whole event.
We see this man come in, and he is in head to toe black and a top hat.
A top hat. And what I said, if that's not the host, we should tell someone about that man. Because he has a concerning presence here in this fair. And we see him, he goes right up to the stage. He gets right in the audio guys' faces.
Oh, he's giving them special cues.
Yeah. He's a workshop. Like, he came in like he came late to his call time and is trying to make up for time.
He came in like he would be played by Nathan Lane. The man...
We meet this host.
He has been hosting it, I think, for years and years and years. We have gathered from his vibe that he's a local radio host.
Yeah, he says... he goes into like what is like autopilot. Like, he has been doing this for years. And so every year he explains it to judges like just like this. And he's going through his notes to make sure he's got everyone's name pronunciation. But he just starts with like, I've been doing this for 1 billion years. This is the stupid hat I wear every year.
And we were like, well, at least he's self-aware.
I'm glad he called this out immediately. Yeah. Because this is really distracting if we don't talk about it.
But the best part is, so he's going through, and of course there's another judge, the businessman judge.
Yeah.
Has also been hosting for several years.
He's been judging for a while.
Judging for years and years, like 15 years.
Yeah.
And you could tell he wanted to be the host.
Oh, there is a quiet
hatred
competition happening there. He's just not tall enough. This guy, Brent, who was the host, who told us he was, well...
okay, so he goes around doing names.
All coming back.
I mean, Grace and I get there. First of all, no shade, no tea, no ageism, but we are in our mid to late 30s. Everyone else is in their... late 60s, 70s.
Yeah, I felt like I was a 13-year-old at like a wedding reception that was all adults.
Yes, exactly.
I was like, can I get a Shirley Temple, please?
We were there. I was like, oh, who invited the child actors? Ooh, it's us, guys. Straight off of Kids Incorporated.
Here we come.
And then he's like, and we have here. And I was like, it's Mamrie. And he goes, oh, so just making sure it's not Mamrie. And at this point, I just go, it's definitely not.
The first audible words she said to this man.
It's definitely not. And he realizes he needs to back out of this bad joke.
Yeah.
So he just goes, well, my name is Brett, which in German is burnt.
And my parents thought that was so funny to do. And
we said, okay.
All right. Do you realize that makes it sound like your parents hate you?
This baby looks burnt.
This guy's burnt. And then finally, my favorite judge that was there the whole night.
Our savior.
I don't know. I have to look up his name, but he was a vet
veterinarian,
a veterinarian,
not like an army
Yeah,
vet.
he was a vet. He was wearing the smock, and so he was dressed the part.
He had the scrubs
of a vet. But he was you were telling me afterwards that he was like a bird vet.
He was a bird vet. That's how they introduced him. But he was. I mean, I guess you get like, you know how to check vitals.
Yeah.
But so he, thank God, was like, I've already checked all the dogs out. They're healthy. They're good to go.
Because the host told us when he's going through all of this diatribe of what to do and how the whole event's going to run, that they're going to come out, maybe do a little trick, opening number, whatever. And then we want to have some interaction where we dialogue with each other.
Yeah.
But caveat, if a dog looks like it's suffering, which it has happened in the past, a couple years ago, apparently a dog was on stage and like hadn't had water and was like freaking out in some way, and the owner was overdoing press, said Brent. The owner was out of there doing press, doing their thing with the camera, and I had to run and save this dog.
Yeah,
and
Brett, of course, gave himself credit for saving the dog.
Brett is a hero, that we learned very quickly. And he saved the dog, but the dog died 3 days later.
This is what we're being told to pump us up to judge this is, hey, if a dog looks like it's going to die, it just might.
You got to get up there and save it because it might only have 3 days after this.
And then they say to us, also, we're down a dog.
We saw one of the handlers sobbing on the sidelines before the competition started. So we were like, some drama's happening.
Maybe the dog got sick this morning, something like that.
Who knows?
Turns out, guys, which, spoiler alert, that dog won the People's Choice Award and wasn't there.
You could vote online in real time during the event for your favorite dog, the way that people like vote for American Idol, and they announced it at the end, and the dog that won, Liberace was not there at the event itself, which is fine by me. I didn't want double winners at this event. I wanted everyone to kind of get what they deserved.
But I will say, if you're listening, Liberace, we hope you're doing okay.
You looked great and you looked totally terrible in your photo.
You looked like a tadpole with legs. Yeah. Brett takes the stage.
Brent.
Yeah. And we immediately learned why he was back at the sound booth so much, because he has created
an opening
number. So he's like created this guy and hit it, and then he just backs away from the mic for like a few feet, and it's like, in a world where dogs are ugly and owners, and it's like
honestly,
2 minutes long.
I give him all the credit.
It was great. It was wonderful.
I was like, I see myself in this moment right now when we do our live shows.
We do our shows where we're like, is this a good idea in a hotel room at 2 a.m.?
Hit it! And then I just squiggle around on stage.
I just remember taking the mic and being like, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how ugly these things are. And then finally the show starts. Brent has gone over everything except where the dogs come from.
Yeah,
he announces the first dog. It's like 15 seconds of no show and everyone looking around the stage. Finally, this dog emerges from the back ramp.
You guys, we didn't realize they full on put the dogs on the table in front of us.
We were joking before we got there about what if this is like is it the Westminster dog
where
show?
you get to like hold up a tail.
Where they
look at the snout.
The judges are like inspecting the entire dog head to toe, and that's what happens.
That's exactly what happens. All of a sudden, there is a crazy little motherfucker just right in front of us.
And the owner's explaining all the features of the dog that make it ugly, all the ins and outs that we might not notice on first glance. Like, here's some warts behind the ears.
Yeah.
Here's some crust in the nails. It was like,
there's an extra toe.
Yeah. Oh, lots of scraggle extra toes.
Lots of extra toes. I mean, Beans is in that family. She's got an extra toe. Brent asked Grace out of the gate 3 questions in a row.
Also, we have name tags in front of us, like pieces of paper that I was like, oh, this is great. Okay, they have all of our name tags set up, so I can even look and see what this judge's name is if I forget. And then Brent just immediately goes, Grace, what do you think of this? Grace, what do you think of this? And then Mamrie finally gave her the mic to answer. And then he clearly was having a meltdown in his head of how to say your name.
He had PTSD from me going, it's definitely not. Yeah. And so he only referred to me as Bean.
Then he goes, what does Bean think of this one here?
So I only spoke through Bean like I'm freaking Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost. And I'm like, well, Brent, Bean says she enjoys this strong follicle hair. Well, Brent, Beans has whispered in my ear. So I am only a medium.
But he stopped even asking me. It was only Bean, and then he realized halfway through that it was actually Beans, and so he started correcting himself and saying Beans. And that was great.
There were such absolute cuties. We fell in love with a little freak named Monkey.
Monkey. I loved Monkey so much. And the hard thing was that visually, from a distance, Monkey didn't look that ugly. Looked kind of cute.
From a distance.
But up close, this is why they need those cameras.
Yeah.
Monkey had some shit going on.
Monkey's nose looked like 10-year-old peanut butter.
You know those ads that you get for like bad toenail shit?
That
was
haunts
on
me.
his nose. I know. Or her nose, because the owner came
Monkey.
up and I thought it was bleeding out of its feet, but no, the owner had just given it a red nail polish pedicure probably weeks ago, and it was chipping off everywhere. And he said she doesn't go anywhere without her nails done. I was like, thank God, I thought she was bleeding out of her toes.
We saw so many cute dogs. It was
amazing.
Wild.
Mr. Happy Face was
Clear
above
winner.
and beyond, very clear winner. The nice thing was going into the judges' huddle at the end, where
Yes.
because we all wrote down these numbers on these 5 categories. That was bullshit. We just talked to each other and said, who's first, second, third?
We got together and Penny Farthing was like, "It's Mr. Happy Face, right?" And we were like, "Yeah."
But she also wanted Mr. Happy Face #1 and this other dog named Wild Thing, which to me looked wild but not super ugly. Like it just had long, giant. What's that kind of dog?
Wild looked like a koosh ball.
Yeah. And Wild had also been competing for 3 years in a row.
So we're in our judges huddle, and there is a crowd of people to the left of the stage
Screaming Wild
wearing
Thing.
Wild Thing merch and going Wild Thing, Wild Thing.
Yeah.
and we're like,
Now
we
we're
can't be
threatened.
swayed. Yeah, now I feel a little threatened.
If we don't have Wild Thing in the top 2, I feel like we're going to start a riot here at this fair.
Well, we knew it needed to be, and we also wanted Monkey, right?
I just love Monkey.
Monkey
and
was
the
the
vet
best.
was on our side. The vet judge
Yes.
loved Monkey.
Here's the thing about the vet is while people are going like, "Oh, that's a crazy looking dog," the vet literally looked at us and goes, "Monkey's body doesn't make sense.
The monkey
has deformities.
Objectively a very ugly dog."
That's what he said.
He was like, the back legs don't work correctly. And the nose and the warts, especially the warts, because everyone was going for Wild Thing. And finally, when we're like, okay, Wild Thing's going to get #2 and Monkey gets #3, he goes, "Are you kidding me?"
He was so mad.
He was just like, he did not care for Wild Thing at all.
He came from a pure professional, objective opinion about what is wrong with this dog.
He came from science.
Yes. And then Penny Farthing made her case, and she goes, "Look, Mr. Happy Face was flirting with Wild Thing backstage, so I think it'd be very cute if they were #1 and #2. And we go, "What? You think you're building a love story? Are they going to open a vineyard?"
Does everyone in Napa just create these fictional love stories in their head?
I said, "Really, Mr. Happy Face, whose spine looks like a goddamn letter S.
Like a lightning rod hit him in the middle of the night before he showed up to the beauty pageant.
You think he hobbled over to Wild Thing and made a move?" He was just trying to walk in a straight line and couldn't do it, my friend.
That wry smile is how his face is shaped. That is not a wink.
His
He
name
has
is
one
Mr.
eye.
Happy Face. It was so
Amazing.
fucking funny.
Amazing. No, it's this man pushes a peanut up the Colorado mountain using an unconventional body part. And he is the first person to do this in the 21st century.
Wait,
Have you heard of this?
did AI write this?
Sounds like it, right? Sounds
a
like
man
they just
pushes a peanut up a mountain with an unconventional body part.
Yeah, so this has been, I found this on multiple, when I go to look for weird news.
Yeah.
This has been cross-referenced on many of the websites that I use
It's
for
not
my...
just UPI.
No,
And
UPI. The fact that
UPI is crazy.
This was found first on Huffington Post,
Oh, nice,
weird news,
nice,
and
nice.
then cross-referenced through UPI because UPI provided the actual photo of what the fuck was happening here.
Okay, give it to me, girl.
So. Just to give you some context, there was a Colorado man who became the first person of the 21st century and fourth person overall to use a contraption attached to his nose to push a peanut up Pikes Peak Mountain.
How tall is this mountain? This sounds like it would be.
It's
remember
a
when we-
14,115 foot summit. It took this man 7 days to push this peanut.
No.
In a segment on Mountains Peanut Pushers, which is a thing, the Travel Channel highlighted this. The Colorado Springs Mountain Peanut Pushers Texas craftsman Bill Williams' journey. This is what started it with a peanut to win. He won a $50 bet in 1929.
Oh, okay. Inflation.
Yeah, to push this peanut up. Then this became this mythological thing. So this guy Bob Salem, he did the peanut push to celebrate the city of Manitou Springs' 150th birthday.
But here's the deal. Are peanuts even grown in Colorado? They're grown in North Carolina.
Right. I have no idea what the actual context of the start of this was, other than like probably an absolutely intoxicated bet.
Okay, wasted. Okay.
There's no clarification on that, whether that's yes or no. However, the photo of this man, he decided to use his nose like they did in the past. Like I said, it took him days. And this is a photo of the contraption. I'll put it on our Patreon, that it's like a ladle glued on his face. This man did this for days. For days to be the first person to do this in the 21st century. 3 other people before him. Okay? Maybe I'll send this to Nick and he can edit in the photo here so you guys can see what this man did for days. He also says that he went through like 7 peanuts because they rolled away at times. So it wasn't 1 peanut. It was a few. He had to do most of this at night, because if you were walking on this hiking trail and you saw this man in the middle of the day doing this, there's no way.
But imagine going camping and looking over and seeing a man
you hear what
with
sounds
a
like
CPAP machine with a ladle taped to it, pushing a peanut.
You'd hear what sounds like a critter in the distance, and you put your headlamp on to be like, what the hell is that?
That man's pushing a peanut up the hill. Man, I mean, some people do anything to take over for Mr. Peanut, you know?
I mean, ever since that baby peanut commercial, people are trying to get peanuts in a better light with everyone.
Peanuts, more like he-nuts.
I mean, when you read about it in just the editorial, it sounds like that's interesting. And then when you see the photo...
When you Google, I think you found your Halloween costume. It's kind of niche, but I think you got it. Oh, God, this got weird.